Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to NHL Draft Pros. On today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 5 prospect pools in the NHL. There's a lot of young talent flowing, and we're going to check out the top 5 prospects from each team. You're not going to want to miss this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps out with the analytics for YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see some detailed scouting reports on some of these prospects, head over to NHL Draft Pros on YouTube. Okay, at number 5, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah, they're stacked with young talent. Check this out. Caden Lindstrom tops it at number 1. Number 2, we have Denton Mateychuk. 3 is Gavin Brindley. 4, Jordan Dumais. And 5, Stanislav Svozil. All right, so the first one on the list is Caden Lindstrom. Check out these points. 46 points in 32 games, 27 goals, almost a goal a game before he got injured. And nevertheless, he went 4th overall in this past draft. So pretty impressive for sure. And he is a big power forward who can score, obviously. Check out this power move to the net right here. I show this clip all the time, but you know what? He's still kind of raw on the edges. I think that with a little bit of development, this kid is going to turn out to be a stud for Columbus. So he's number 1 on the list. Number 2, we got Denton Mateychuk, the offensive defenseman who had 75 points in 52 games for Moose Jaw this past year. He was 12th overall in 2022, and he is a stud on the point. Number 3, Gavin Brindley, the little motor. Check out the speed on this one right here. Holy moly, he is gone. And playing in UMich, he had 53 points in 40 games. Yeah, he can skate and he's got a good motor. I like little Brindley a lot. And then rounding off the top 5, we have Jordan Dumais, the offensive dynamo who plays in the Q, and Stanislav Svozil, who had 23 points in 57 games as a D in the AHL this past season. So their pipeline is looking pretty decent thus far. All right, moving on to number 4, we have the Anaheim Ducks. And yep, they got some decent talent too. Check this out. They picked up Cutter Gauthier from the Flyers. He's number 1 now on the list. Olin Zellweger, the defensive dynamo. Beckett Seneca, 3rd overall. He was surprised about that pick. Number 4 is Tristan Luneau, and 5, Stian Solberg. So the first one is Cutter Gauthier, and he had a monster year in the NCAA playing for Boston College, 65 points in 41 games. Really impressive. Now, he was 5th overall back in 2022 to the Flyers, then was part of that trade for Drysdale there. And yeah, he had a great season in Boston College. And check out this play right here. Like, this is no look pass there, and nice little tip in for his partner there. But yeah, that's a nice pickup by Anaheim too. It really solidifies their prospect pool. And then at number 2, we got Olin Zellweger. He is a stud on the points. In the HL this past season, he had 37 points in 44 games. What? Yeah, and he was a second rounder back in 21. So you know what? That's a great pickup, and I like Olin Zellweger a lot. Number 3, well, 3rd overall this past season, Beckett Seneca. He had 68 points in 63 games last year, and he's got some hands. He grew like 5 inches before the start of the season, and so he still had a little awkwardness to him, but check that out right there. Not too shabby, eh? And then number 4 is Tristan Luneau, and number 5, Stian Stolberg, the monster who just loves hitting people left and right. He's at number 5. All right, the 3rd prospect pool goes to the Detroit Red Wings. Yeah, they've been building something really nice the last few years. And number 1 on the list is Simon Edvinsson, the big D from Sweden. Axel Sandin Pellikka, the smooth skating offensive defenseman. Nate Danielson at 3, Marco Kasper at 4, and Michael Brandsegg Nygaard at number 5. Now, Simon Edvinsson played in the AHL this past season. He had 30 points in 54 games. Now, he is 6'6". Yep, 6'6". And he has a little bit of a mean streak to him too, which you really like to see in a D. The Red Wings D core, it's going to shaping up pretty nice, actually. Hey, you got Edvinsson and Moritz Seider and Axel Sandin Pellikka, who we're going to show in a second here. Like, that's a pretty studly top 3 right there. And Axel Sandin Pellikka, he's one of my favorites. His skating, check this out right here. His skating is unreal. And last year in SHL, he had 18 points in 39 games. Really impressive. And he was 17th overall back in 2023. So you like to see that development. All right, number 3 is Nate Danielson. He was 9th overall back in 23, and he had 67 points in 54 games last year in the WHL. And yeah, he can rip a puck, and he's got some nice mitts for sure. Really soft hands for a big kid. So he's number 3 on the list. Number 4, we got the motor that doesn't stop, Marco Kasper. And I'd say that Michael Bransack-Nygaard is very similar in his game to Marco Kasper. So you got these hardworking two-way forwards. Really impressive top 5 right there for the Red Wings. All right, moving on. Number 2. Who do we got for the next prospect pool? That is the Montreal Canadiens. The Habs. Look at this top 5 right here. Wow. Ivan Demidov at number 1. David Reinbacher at number 2. Lane Hudson at number 3. I mean, you know what? Those could be interchangeable depending on what you're looking for. Reinbacher defensively sound. Lane Hudson, offensive stud. And then 4 is Jacob Fowler, the goalie. Yes, we'll talk about him in a second. And then last but not least, Michael Hage. He is at number 5 on the list. Now, Ivan Demidov, when the Habs landed him, they were in their glory. 60 points in 30 games last year, and he dropped to 5th overall. And Habs Nation, they were going nuts because check out the hands on Ivan Demidov. And yeah, you know what? This year in the KHL, the last couple games, he's kind of had limited ice time. But in his KHL career this year, he has 8 points in 13 games as an 18-year-old. That's very impressive. So you know what? When you have an Ivan Demidov in your pipeline, yeah, you're going to be ranked pretty high in terms of prospect pools. And that's what you get with the Habs right now. Check out these hands. Filthy. Filthy. All right. Number 2, David Reinbacher, the big bruising D. And he had 5 points in 11 games in the AHL. And he was 5th overall back in 2023. And, you know, a lot of people were like, ooh, I don't know about that pick. But he is one of those really good physical two-way defensemen. And I think he's going to be a stud as he progresses. Lane Hudson, number 3. What the offensive, check out these moves. The offensive dynamo. He had 49 points in 38 games as a D at Boston U last year. What a stud. Shake and bake all day long. All right. Number 4, Jacob Fowler, who played for Boston College. In 39 games played, he had 32 wins. Are you hearing me? 39 games played, 32 wins, 6 losses. That's unreal. So, yeah, that's a great pickup, a great goalie. And then Michael Hage, what a steal, 21st overall this past season. UMich, he's already got 4 points in 2 games. He is going to be a stud as well. All right, and the number 1 prospect pool goes to, obviously, the San Jose Sharks. When you pick up someone like Macklin Celebrini, 1st overall this past season, what a pickup. Will Smith, the 4th overall in 2023. He's at number 2. Sam Dickinson, 11th overall this past season. Yaroslav Askarov, who they picked up from Nashville. And then Quentin Musty rounds up the top 5. But check out Macklin Celebrini's points. 64 points in 38 games in the NCAA as a 17-year-old. Yeah. He is just a stud. Like I said, 60 points in 38 games. Check out these moves right here. I was actually at this game live, and when I saw that, it was one of the first games of the season, or an early game in the season, and I was like, oh my Lord, this kid's going to have some fun in the NCAA, and he sure did. So he's number 1 on the list. Number 2, we got Will Smith. Not a slouch either. And I was actually at this game too. And he did this. And I was like, what? And I was actually standing at the top right where he did that. And I was like, yeah, he's got some filthy, filthy hands. High hockey IQ. Offensively might be a little bit better than than Celebrini. I don't know. That's a tough call. But anyway, Sam Dickinson, the big, powerful D from the point there, played in London. He's got a cannon for a shot, had 70 points in 68 games in his draft year as a defenseman. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And that's why he went 11th overall. What a draft last year by San Jose, or this past year. Celebrini at 1 and Dickinson at 11. Not too shabby. And then they got Yaroslav Askarov, who played in the A this past year, and he had, in 44 games, he had 30 wins. Very, very impressive. He was an 11th overall pick in 2020. So high pedigree right there. And then Quentin Musty had 102 points in 53 games this past season playing for the Sudbury Wolves in the OHL. Like, that is a nice prospect pool to see right there. And that is it for this video. So now, let me know, what do you think? Is this the right order? Who do you like? Is there some players that we're missing? Let us know in the comment section. And please, subscribe, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you for all the support, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.